Biggest mistake be, would you say, and what lessons have you learned from it?
John, I'm sure historians will look back and say, gosh, you could have done it better this way or that way. You know, I'm sure something will pop in my head here. Trying to come up with an answer, but it hadn't yet.
The reason he doesn't give press conferences is presumably because that happens.
Yeah.
He get asked questions. And the amusing thing about that was I think that was in the middle of a debate about intelligence failure. Yes.
Who else recently found it difficult to concentrate during a Bush speech?
Oh, there was the 12-year-old boy who was yawning away.
The fat child.
The fat child, Jermaine.
He's definitely a fat child, I'm sorry.
Was that enough to distinguish him from the rest of America?
We're about to see him now. Yes, he's the one in the orange baseball cap.
I actually did vote for the It is a choice between America. They lead the world with strength and confidence. Is at the highest rate ever.
Because a proper pressure cooker has a sort of safety valve in it, so the lid never comes off.
It has a mad little bobbler that goes spitting and screaming.
Mad little bobbler. A cartoon character in the 1950s, mad little bobbler. Showed you how to cross the road safely. Mad little bobbler come out, right, crushed by a truck. No, don't cross the road like mad little bobbler. What am I talking about? And why are you all listening? And if it's true, it's very entertaining. Somebody's up there making notes. Mad little bobbler. You remember that, Brian, don't you? Yes, I do. This has been the story of the decade, hasn't it? It's been on the front page for 10 days straight. It's extraordinary.
Well, it's the perfect tabloid story, because everything rhymes. It's Bex, sex, Tex. The woman called Lose.
Anybody here who's never slept with David Beckham? There must be one, surely.
What I understand is why everybody hates Posh.
Yeah.
I mean, particularly all women just, you know, God, her husband's cheated on her. What a cow. She's been humiliated publicly, bitch. I don't really see the logic there.
We should point out that David Beckham has described the allegations as ludicrous, and he went on to say, the simple truth is, I'm a very happily married man with 2 special kids.
Well, let's thank the lawyer for that gag.
Is this the new bold BBC? Every single newspaper in the country says Beckham with slapper shot, and we're going, well, I don't know. He may not have done.
Is it Stephen Hawkins?
It is, yeah. Why?
His voice is wearing out. The software that makes his Dalek voice, as he's described it, is wearing out, and he'll soon have to have another voice. He doesn't want to lose the old Dalek voice. Apparently he's going to get a camper version. He's going to go, oh, well, hello. Anyway, secret of the universe, Mars, Neptune, all big circles. And he doesn't really want that. He doesn't really want that, because he's going to have his wrist wired up as well to, you know... Get you. Oh, Big Bang, look who's talking. Is that right?
That is right, yeah.
Is it? Yeah. What's happening in the world?
Too fat to fly. I remember. It's too fat to fly.
1 in 5 too fat to fly.
Of course they can't fly if they're that fat. And they'll get off the ground.
Fat people can't get on aircraft.
Well, not 1 in 5.
Because their seats are too little.
They can, and they sit next to me. They put the arm up and say...
which is ironic that they're called jumbo jets.
And following the Today programme party, John Humphreys accuses Jim Naughtie of spiking his drink.
It's still going. It's still going.
Or he could threaten to resign, hoping the resignation wouldn't be accepted, And then it might be. I mean, that wouldn't be a very good strategy, though, would it?
Oh, below the belt.
Yeah, to be honest, you can't see this as a promotion, though, can you?
This wasn't some kind of secret plan, though, Greg, was it? Because you was in charge when Angus was fired from here, and a year later, here you are. 5 years' time, and a host tonight, Mr. Tony Blair. Tony, what are you doing?
Isn't she married to David Bowie?
Yeah, I
Are you married to David Bowie? You've gone right up in my estimation. Oh, what's he like? What's he like at home?
We'll move on, shall we?
He's not denying it. No.
OK, Amanda, you've been involved in the ad business, haven't you?
I just press this and you speak. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I thought you did an ad for pot noodles.
Oh, 5 years ago, yeah. I directed an ad for pot noodles, yeah.
Successful, was it?
Yes, they had to build a new factory. Which I considered a bit of an achievement.
Is that true?
Yeah, because the public went to the other one and burned it down.
They didn't burn it down, they just poured hot water.
Paul, you've done ads as well, haven't you?
Yeah, have you?
No.
Well, what are you talking about it for, then?
Is this that odd one out round, then?
It's me, isn't it?
But when I say they've all done ads, I just read them these days looking for another gig. That would be that one, wouldn't it? No, Ian, you've not done it.
Ian's not done it.
Have you? South African nuclear tobacco, I did.
Did it work?
Yeah, fantastic.
The only fag that lights itself in the dark.
Did you stay on?
Well, I knew what I wanted to do, but there didn't seem a way of doing it at that time, so I thought I'd stay on at school.
No.
What did
I
you want
didn't,
to
so I
do?
wouldn't have mentioned
I wanted to be a captain on a topical quiz show. Well, I said this to the quiz teacher, and he wasn't interested.
Is this Ofcom?
This is Ofcom.
Ofcom, the new regulatory body for television, has criticised the BBC for the low standard of programmes over the last 3 or 4 years.
That's bollocks for a start.
What it says is serious programmes are less popular than they used to be.
There was Celebrity Pet School last year.
No, there was, actually, that's right. That's it.
Britain's Worst Toilet, that was on. There is a rumour that some TV executives play a game, which is they pick random words out of a hat and put them together to come up with a programme title, and then commission it.
Monkeys drive buses. Fantastic. Tune in to watch that, wouldn't you? Monkeys driving buses.
Yeah.
A monkey takes on a 93 route from North Cheam to Putney. Oh. How far will it get?
One of our...
You want to produce it?
And Mr. Blobby is the latest celebrity to be shamed after it's revealed that Mrs. Blobby once starred in a porn movie. Who's the only person who will not need an ID card?
Queen.
She's got ID cards, they're called £5 notes.
He declared Libya was determined and committed to playing a leading role in achieving world peace, unless, of course, we're obliged by any evil to go back to the days when we put explosive belts around our beds. Beds, if you please. What does that mean?
It's one way of getting up in the morning, isn't it?
Where did he stay when he was in Brussels?
In that green outside tent, which was fashioned exactly like the one he had in Tripoli.
Actually, it's just
Those
like
women.
Paul's shirt. The actual wallpaper.
If you look at that tent, you'll see there's a shirt-shaped hole in the side of it.
It's Shrek the sheep who managed to... That's not easy either.
No.
Who managed to evade the shearers by hiding in a cave. This is how he looked.
I think we should stop shearing sheep if they're going to look like that.
Yeah. After shearing, he looked boringly like this.
Which one is he? Did you say this sheep was hiding in a cave?
Yes.
For 6 years?
Yeah, they knew. He kept sending in shaky-looking videos.
Do you know what his captors mistook him for initially?
Bin Laden.
They mistook him for a biblical creature, apparently.
A biblical creature?
Not Nebuchadnezzar.
No. John the Baptist.
Oh. Is it still 0-0? I think that was an own goal, that one.
Do you know about the other big New Zealand animal story of the week?
Is it the budgie guy that looks like a feather duster?
It is.
Let's have a look.
This is a normal budgie.
Yeah.
and this is the budgie that they found.
Is it possible for then, in that case, for a mop to turn into a budgie? Like it's doing the floor and suddenly it flies off through the window, clutching your windowline. Does that happen? You're looking at me like I'm talking nonsense here. Come on, you sat opposite Terry Venables, you must be used to this.
It's the same look.
It's the same look.
It's the same look.
The only opera story this week that I remember is the English National Opera. They've been advised not to call each other darling because it might lead to sort of...
Sexual harassment.
Beg your pardon?
Yeah, that.
I've got to do the show first. Nice of you to ask, though. You can put your hand on my knee during the odd one out round. So it's about not calling people darling or love, you know. But actors do this because they can never remember anybody's names.
You're quite right. An E&O spokesperson put it, whilst it may be acceptable between friends, it would be thought of very differently if the term is used by a senior colleague and accompanied by a wink.
I see what the ladies mean.
Happy with it?
The silver fox.
Not you.
It was the chap who was told he was not the father of his son on Trisha's show, and he's very upset about it.
Why did she not put her arm round him at the right moment and come in really close for a blub shot like you would have? Watch that, Paul. If he puts his arm round you, you better cry.
Why did the article cause so much trouble second time around?
Context.
Someone read it.
I made a mistake of not saying in the last 500 years. If I'd said if they haven't done anything and contributed anything to civilization in the last 500 years, then there wouldn't have been a single inaccuracy in the column.
Right. And should you have said Arab states rather than just generic Arabs?
Yes,
do you
should
think that would have been less offensive?
Yeah, absolutely.
Saying individually they were all worthless?
No. Well,
you
we
think
know
that might have annoyed a few people?
It got under some people's skins, yeah. But then you know that, no, we don't really mean that, do we?
Don't we, me?
What? I'm trying to draw you in as an ally.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
No, I'm not as bright as him, but don't try me either.
When did they come up with the pendulum, then, and the compass? And
they didn't, actually.
Didn't they?
No. Most of those were...
They did on my card here.
Well, that's right.
Shakespeare hasn't done much for 500 years either, has he? What's been your contribution, Robert?
Trying to keep...
When you're not doing your show, what's been your contribution? Say in the last 20 years. When you weren't doing that crap show, what was your contribution?
He was an MP, wasn't he?
MP.
Are you too fat to walk? Then phone us. Have you had a psychic experience involving a budgie and a motorbike? Give us a ring. Now, I believe you're too thick to feed yourself, you fat
She said if only Victoria Beckham had lived in Madrid and been supportive to her husband, then it would never have happened.
Yes, in an interview with Richard and Judy, she blamed Victoria Beckham for creating a space next to David. Isn't that Zidane's job, Ian?
Isn't that Saddam's job?
Zidane's job.
Oh, Zidane!
Zidane's job.
I thought Beckham was involved with the Baathist party for a minute there.
I think it's... T.E. Lawrence is obviously Lawrence of Arabia, so at one point he disguised himself in Arab dress, didn't he? Yeah. Right? That was my film. Well, in real life, which was based on his film, you know, based on his life.
Because actually he was a corporal in the
I think it was real life first, and then it...
No, real life film.
Because they did the film first, he thought that's a good idea, and then he went and did it. Wilson, Keppel and Betty, those two men used to disguise themselves as Egyptians to do the sand dance act, so there's a link between those two.
Yeah.
OK, so what... Sand, yeah. Sand. So I'm suggesting that Kelvin Mackenzie has probably disguised himself as an Arab because Richard Desmond...
Why probably? Why should he?
I'll tell you what, let's play a game. I'll finish a sentence, Robert, and you can shut up. Robert, shut up!
No!
I think Desmond's good one. Yes.
No!
I think Desmond...
No!
He looks upset, Robert. Put your arm around him, he might cry.
What do you think is the answer?
Desmond.
I think Desmond's the odd one out because he pretended to be German, all the others pretended to be Arabs.
Is the right answer.
Yeah.
Anyone here ever dressed up as an Arab?
Oh, Jesus, what's this? My wife likes that picture. I don't know why.
Maybe it's the idea of you living in Arabia that she finds attractive.
Wilson, Keppel and Betty were a popular music hall trio. After a while, Betty was replaced, according to one music hall critic, with a glamorous star in the middle. The routine only became funnier as the two regulars got older and more emaciated. Sad about York this season, Ian, isn't it?
Terrible.
Why do you think that is?
Did they lose to Lancaster?
So let's see how that leaves the table. Another win for Paul. Sees him pulling further away at the top, while Ian is still several points adrift of Wolves at the bottom of the table. And Wolves still have that game in hand, of course.
Apparently, all these soldiers are completely well equipped with rifles, with helmets, you know, with belts, and so on and so forth. So they can't possibly be, you know, British Army soldiers.
You really are Boris's dad, aren't you? I really thought he'd been knitted.
I'm not just Boris's dad. I'm Rachel's dad, Joe's dad, Leah's dad, a couple more there.
According to the Times, they stopped short of calling for Piers Morgan's head on a spike. Just thought I'd let you savour that image for a little bit.
Yes, no, can we leave it there? No, I mean, if Piers has put these photos in and they're not real, he will get sacked.
You hope.
So he ran from Marathon to Athens?
That's what he did. That's why it's called Marathon.
Why is it not called Athens? Well, that's where he was going. If it was a bus, it'd have Athens on the front.
If there weren't Exmoor sheep farmers, Exmoor would...
It would just be a moor.
As the Yorkshire farmers say, can you make a U-turn? No, but I can make its eyes water.
Oh, good. I like that. So, thank you, William.
This is the...
You've turned into Frankie Howard.
I had to find an alternative career somehow.
You're doing well, you're doing well.
This is the...
Oh, no, don't, no, please.
Well, we're beyond the prologue, I'm glad to say. At the time of this recording, we still don't know if Leslie Grantham will be sacked. And if EastEnders need a replacement tough guy, hello, princess.
Oh, God. You've been practising that in your dressing room?
All day, yes, all day.
Hello, princess.
Looking in the mirror at the same time.
Is that what you said to Mrs. Thatcher at that dinner? Hello, princess.
Labour is working. Don't let the Tories ruin it.
I thought I'd doctor that one a little bit. And I think I got away with it, really.
The trouble is that nobody thinks there's anybody missing.
And disaster looms for Anne Widdecombe's pet dog as she declares, I think I'm going to faint. She'll kill me for that.
Have you ever played a shrimp?
Yeah.
What was it in? Godfather 2?
No, the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Oh, Royal Shakespeare.
I played a shrimp.
Right.
It was very good.
Was that in Lear?
Yeah, in Lear, yeah. Towards the end.
Yeah. A lot of people leave the theatre before the end. They've never seen it. Great shrimp.
It's a bit. Shrimp hat. Things come out.
Is the ninja shrimp the only thing that survives in the Day After Tomorrow film? Because, you know, crustaceans do ever so well, don't they?
It'd be a disappointing end, though, wouldn't it? If
there's
just shrimps are left, there's no dialogue or anything, just those shrimps.
Really.
Yeah, but if it was a load of shrimp and then in the middle of it, Michael was there in a huge shrimp costume.
It was good in King Lear, so it'd be good in that one.
Always works. It always works.
Always, never fails.
Never fails. You can't go wrong with a shrimp costume.
Beckett, Chekhov, anything.
Yeah. Oh, we must go to Moscow. Never mind all that. Help me on with this shrimp costume.
Put the chip pan on.
Yes, this is the news that oil prices have risen to a 14-year... Paul and Michael in first.
Arses.
No. You see, in a conundrum round, Ian and Carol?
It's Sasa. The
Is it-
Sasa worm.
Let's reveal the answer.
No, that's not.
Yeah.
It's a nice turn.
Yes, I know. Actually, we stole it from another show. The headline is Sasa worm turns on world. What's the story about?
Well, it's some really irritating 18-year-old came up with a virus that got into my computer. I don't know if there were any wider ramifications, but it was bloody annoying in my house.
Yes, it infected 3 million computers, which in turn impacted upon Australian Railways, British Airways, Hong Kong hospitals, Taiwanese Post and the British Coast Guard. And Ian.
Damn
Paul
cold.
and Michael?
Damn's cold.
Damn's cold. Yeah. You haven't rearranged the letters.
Somebody's already done that for us, haven't they?
Scary boy.
You're going to say scary boy, aren't you? I'll give you a clue. It's 2 words.
Scary ball. Or scary.
Scary boy.
Yeah, maybe it's backwards. Ero.
Scary boy. Scarred boy.
Scary boy.
It's neither scary bore or any other phonetic translation of scary bore. You have any guesses?
I don't get this game.
No.
Yes, the bikini that you just stick on the front. Stickini.
It's Stikini, it's called.
Stikini,
This is it.
Oh!
Are they lost? Those two? They seem to be in an alleyway in bikini.
I wouldn't like to wear one of those. I think they'd be really uncomfortable.
I would like to wear one.
Would you?
But I've started now, can you see?
If an operator can run 5 screw machines at an average of £45 each, that means what?
5:45.
Not so fast, Carl.
225 quid.
Is the correct answer, yes. Yeah.
That's right. Yes. Here we are.
This is some Screw magazine
You're not
work.
giving him a round of applause for being able to do long multiplication.
Listen, I deserve that round of applause. That was an effort.
A long day in Brussels ends with an unexpected rendition of Feelings.
John Prescott took time out this week to do something else. Did anyone see that?
Hang gliding?
No, it wasn't. It was a game of football.
Classic stuff.
Killing lobsters is a very, very controversial issue. There
is a humane way. The thing is, you just leave it under the grill and it thinks, it's getting a bit hot in here. And just slowly turn it up. Yeah.
No,
this omelette looks nice. Who's having that?
Yeah.
There is a prescription for it. Very good.
What they say for the domestic lobster dispatch is that you should put it for 2 to 3 hours in a deep freeze until it enters a state of deep torpor. And then when you put it in boiling water, it's instant. And that's what they recommend.
But, you know, the other way is
I think
much
we need a point
nicer.
for that, actually.
If you got a lobster in the freezer, it's like, whoa, God, I wish it was cold in here, isn't it? Oh, I'm coming out last. Oh, that's better. That's a lot. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I think you're assuming that lobsters talk to themselves.
I don't think he was talking to himself. I think he was just generally airing some grievances.
What sort of language is that, then, lobsters talk?
That's right, lobster talk.
Oh, I see.
There is speculation about which venues will host which sport.
Tennis at Wembley, football at Wimbledon, that sort of thing.
That kind of thing, yeah. And apparently the Horse Guards Parade will be hosting beach volleyball.
Is that true?
Absolutely true, yeah. Duke of Edinburgh's oiling up his telescope as we speak. As I mentioned.
I've heard some euphemisms in my time.
You don't give your animals names anymore, do you?
No, not really. Well, sorry. I once had a tortoise called Mr. Willoughby, but after that I gave up the practice. It didn't seem to make any sense. He never answered to it. He always insisted his name was Frank.
Apart from Piers Morgan.
Yes.
Yeah. What happened after he was sacked last Friday?
The nation rejoiced.
And beneath the hubbub?
Do you know, I don't remember much after that announcement.
He was frog-marched out of the building.
He was.
Yeah, yeah. Anyone know one of Piers' favourite sayings?
I'm going to get you.
You, yes.
Watch out, and your family. He's a charming bloke, Piers.
And anyone remember his sparkling performance on this show?
No. No, I think we should see it again to
We
remind
might
ourselves.
have to have a little look at it.
The last time I was rude to you, sent photographers around to my doorstep the next day, so I'm not doing that again.
No. You won't see them this time.
Sorry. He is charming, isn't he?
So don't try the popularity line with me, Hislop.
Why?
Anybody here like him? Do you like him? Anybody actually like him?
You've changed a lot, Paul, haven't you?
Yes, I was a lot bolder in them days. I'm better educated. I fell on my head.
According to the Express, you'll often be surprised by how much you can get for things you think are worthless. But not always. This signed photo of Ian Hislop, for example, has a reserve price of 99 pence and has so far attracted no bids. You might be interested to know, Ian, that as of yesterday, the site had only received 6 hits. But you must bear in mind that 4 of those are from researchers on this programme.
Apparently he's going to knee him in the balls again if he doesn't vote.
That would rank as one of the worst last dying moments, wouldn't it? To be comforted by Kilroy Silk as you over the shopping centre.
On the election trail in the East Midlands, the Times spoke of how he went up to voters in the street. He spotted 2 white-haired ladies on a bench. Before waiting for an answer, he hugged and kissed them. They looked at first bewildered, then thrilled. "It's you, isn't it?" the first woman said. Which Kilroy responded, "It's me, my love." He was walking around pretending to be Christ in the middle of the window. Apparently, lady went, "Bring the children to me." Not the dark one. OK. That was him, not me, right? So how has Robert Kilroy Silk responded to allegations of xenophobia?
I spend a lot of time in Europe. I love the Spanish. Don't always trust them, but I do love them.
What other art has gone up in value immensely in the last week?
I'm not going to tell you.
It is a picture of Ian Hislop.
Yes.
Yes.
This isn't this eBay thing.
Yes, it is this eBay thing. Last week, when featured in the show, the signed photograph of Ian Hislop was going for 99 pence. Closing price at the end of the auction was £113.11.
You notice, though, in even that picture, he's a little bit too short for the photo booth.
But weren't there higher bids?
There were high bids. The bids at one stage reached £10 million.
David Beckham also won an award this week. He won Black Sports Personality of the Year award.
He won Black Role Model of the Year.
Role Model. Oh, right,
rather than Black Sports Personality. He was eliminated from Black Sports Personality of the Year for what I would regard as obvious reasons. Might be Irishman of the Year next year. It's equally likely. Only if he f***s up in the field when he's playing for England. OK. Sorry, I should fight that sort of instinct. I'm living here now. I'm living here now. I'm assimilated. Chim chim chiroo. Whose brainchild was this pigeon attack?
Was it Bernard Matthews?
It actually was. It was the head of the Air Ministry pigeon section. Oh my God!
Is it a pigeon? Is it a pigeon that's head of the pigeon section? What a pigeon! Does it understand? Speaks the same language?
The pigeon with one eye.
Yeah.
Who wishes he was still out there? Yeah. Okay. By God, war! How I love it so! Spike Milligan's epitaph was?
It's in Gaelic.
It is in Gaelic, or Irish, as we call it at home. It is... we don't know why you call it Gaelic. We're confused about that. It's Dúirt mé leat go raibh mé broite.
It's not as catchy, though, is it?
Well, I think it is. How did the Segway injure the president?
Did he try it out?
Yes.
Oh, he did outside.
Photo op.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was photo op.
Anything remarkable about falling off a Segway?
It's meant to be a non-falling-off machine. Almost impossible to fall off it.
Unless you're an idiot.
Yes. Its creator, Dean Kamen, claims it's almost impossible to do so because there's a gyroscope in the actual machine.
Yeah.
Why did Bush manage to do it?
He's an idiot. He's an anti-gyroscope in his brain.
No, he didn't turn it on. Since its invention, the Segway has received a number of top-level endorsements. The Wall Street Journal said the Segway is great fun to ride. Fortune magazine said the Segway is incredibly stable. And George Bush said,
Indeed, this is the new administration in Iraq and the growing oil crisis sparked by... Who's your friend?
It's the last show of the series, isn't it?
It
I
is.
thought we could bring toys in.
The thing I like about this story is everyone said, oh, it's all about oil, this war. But actually the oil companies told Bush not to invade because the price would go up. But he had to prove that he can be stupid on his own. He's not just their puppet. Sorry to continue the theme. It's like being on with News Bunny.
Oh, there's that awkward first date.
Now, the Express managed to track down someone who definitely did get their postal ballot on time this week. Let's take a look at George Shaw. There we are. He got his ballot paper. He wasn't prepared to divulge to the press who he's going to be voting for.
Yeah, but we know, don't we? He was born yesterday. He's going to vote Labour.
George Cady, how has he fuelled the debate on Charles and Camilla this week?
He said that they should get married.
Definitely they should get married.
Charles, rather mysteriously, said, no, I'm not... According to the, I think, Daily Mail, said, I don't want to do that. We don't want to frighten the horses. So unless he thought...
to marry them.
Well, exactly.
Why haven't we got anything about Norman Tebbit saying that the government's been promoting buggery?
You're only 10 minutes in. You don't know what's coming, as it were.
Is it coming up later?
Well, it might.
Is it?
If you're a very good boy.
What exactly are you promising me?
Let's move on, shall we? Which...
Do you and John get very competitive with your puddings businesses?
What?
Birds, custard and KY jelly, is that not you two?
Contrived joke of the night!
Thank you! I like it!
At least he's making an effort, though. Which is... Oh, no, I didn't mean that. No. You're all so sensitive. I didn't mean it in that way.
I didn't take it any bad.
Good, fine.
That's just the audience. They're so sensitive.
Does anyone know what a quick-thinking policeman did with a licorice all sort recently?
Is this got anything to do with Norman Tebbit?
He plugged a hole in
Yes.
a leaking... in a leaking gas pipe.
What, Jordan does a bit of tunnelling, does she? Is that one of her occupations?
Has she had a tunnel put in?
What about the Queen's tunnel, then? Can you tell us anything about
Well,
that? What?
It's moving on time.
Does it stretch all the way from Pall Mall to Balmoral?
It does in a limerick, I once heard.